Hi, I'm Shelley Jones. Welcome to Learning Math with Dr. Jones. Our Facebook group will post a daily math lesson Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time throughout the month of August. Okay, I'm Dr. Shelley Jones from Central Connecticut State University from the School of Engineering, Science, and Technology, the Department of Mathematical Sciences. And I'm going to be starting in section 2.2 today in our Math Foundations workbook, and that's on page 65. So if you have your workbook, you can go ahead and take that out. Today we're going to be talking about percent. And it says, percent is a special fraction with 100 as the denominator. Note, the numerator is not necessarily a whole number. So in this particular case, if you can get your denominator to be 100, then you have found a percent. And sometimes, in order to get your denominator to be 100, the numerator might not be a whole number. So I might have 2.5 over 100, and that would be 2.5%. Okay? And in this case, that's going to be just fine. So we're going to start off with our first example, and our first example is a word problem. And it says, there are 420 out of 600 flowers in the Euler garden that are roses. But in the Newton garden, there are 480 flowers out of 800 that are roses. Which garden has the greater fraction of roses? So in this case, we're saying 420 out of 600, is that more or less? Is that fractional part more or less than 480 over 800 out of 800? And so the fraction is, we want a part to be on the numerator and our total to be in the denominator. So in this case, we have 420 over 600 is the same as how many out of 100. So in this case, we're going to actually try to find a percent, but it's still a fraction out of 100. We'll do the same thing to 480 out of 800 equals how much out of 100. And in both of those cases, we can figure that out, and that will be our percent. So let's see. In this case, these work out very nicely because 600 divided by 6 is 100, right? So that's pretty simple. So divided by 6, divided by 6. So in this case, I'm dividing by 6 over 6, right? I divide the numerator by 6. I divide the denominator by 6. And let's see what we get. 600 divided by 6 is 100. 420 divided by 6 is, let's see, 42 divided by 6. 6 times 7. I'll say this. The question mark is 7, let's see, 70, must be 70, right? So if the question mark is 70, if I put a 70 here, then I have 70 over 100, which is 70%. So the question mark is equal to 70, but my percent is 70 over 100, and that's 70%, okay? All right, let's see here. I'm going to do this just so I could really make this clear. So here's my question mark, right? And so that equals 70 over 100 equals 70%. So I really want to show you that the question mark is 70, but the percent is 70 over 100, and so that's 70%. So I want to just be really clear about that. Okay, let's do the same thing for this one. So 800 divided by 8 is 100. 480 divided by 8, let's see, 48 divided by 8, 8 times 6. So let's see, that's a 6 and a 0, I get 60. So 480 divided by 8 is 60. So that is 60%. And so in this case, let's see, Euler's garden has more roses, has a more fraction roses. They don't have more roses, because they have 420 is less than 480, but the fraction of the garden is more roses for Euler. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. So it says, let's convert some fractions to percents. So fraction to percent and decimals. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to figure out what the percent is and then change that to a decimal. So this one says 2/5 equals how much out of 100. So whatever our fraction is, if we can make that out of 100, if we can find an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100, then we found the percent. And then that's easy to change into decimal, because once I have 100 in my denominator, then I can make that a decimal. So in this case, let's see, 5 times 20 is 100. So 2 times 20 is 40. So I get 40 over 100. So that's 40%, or 0.40, 40 hundredths. Okay, so far that's where we are. All right, so then here, okay, so here, the next one, so far we've had fractions, denominators, that have easily worked with 100. So in this particular case, 90 over 15 equals how many over 100? Well, if you do 15 times, I don't know what, to get 100, you don't actually get 100. So there's no whole number there that's going to get that for me. I'm going to show you two different things that you could do. So one thing you could do is 15, if I can make this into a 5, then 5 times 20 is 100. So I could change this in 90 over 15. If I divide by 3, I get, let's see, 9 divided by 3 is 3, so I get 30 over 5, right? 15 divided by 3. So if I divide 90 over 15, and I can get a denominator that easily goes into 100, a whole number, then that's one method, right? So now I'm saying 30 over 5 equals how much out of 100? And now I can say times 20 times 20. So I end up with 30 times 20. 3 times 2 is 6. So I end up with 600 over 100. Well, 600 over 100 equals 6. Oh, I'm sorry, 6%. 600%. Sorry, 600%. So that's my percent.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Jones. I'm excited to announce the 1-year anniversary of my best-selling book, Women Who Count, honoring African American women mathematicians. Meet me on Sunday, September 13th at 2 p.m. to celebrate Women Who Count, because representation matters. Stay tuned for a special panel discussion with mathematicians featured in the book, giveaways including a Katherine Johnson t-shirt, and activities from the book. Please register on Eventbrite for Women Who Count's 1-year celebration.